Check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to look at AMC stock, GME stock, and SPY stock on the short and long term, giving you guys the technical analysis and fundamental data for AMC, GME, and SPY. We're going to be looking at the bars pattern, we're going to be looking at the technical analysis, and making it all compile into one clear answer on where these stocks are going. With that being said, let's go and hop in the charts, the facts, the data. Let's go. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to talk about AMC stock, GME stock, and the overall stock market, SPY stock. We're going to hop in with AMC. This video is not financial advice. Please do your own research and technical analysis before buying any stock or crypto asset. Now, the first thing I want to point out is in the live stream, we pointed out this bull flag breakout to the upside. Then we pointed out this double top, which is exactly what played out, pushing us to the downside, reclaiming this point as support. Also in the live stream, I pointed out this uptrending support that is currently acting as support right now, and we are seeing AMC consolidate. What I'm expecting from AMC is possibly a rejection, because the bars pattern is calling for a rejection as earnings. As we code down into earnings, you guys can see earnings is here in the 8th. It is calling for a little bit of a pullback into earnings, and then after earnings, pushing to the upside for a higher high. Again, I do think AMC is actually going to pump here after earnings. A lot of people think it's going to crash after earnings, but I am under the assumption that AMC is actually going to pump after earnings based off of the technicals that I'm seeing. We are in this overall uptrend. You guys can see we have touched this several times. We have a touch point here, touch point here, touch point here, confirming these levels to the upside. Again, I do think we're going to confirm it one more time to the upside here around earnings, and then get that movement to the upside. This is in Wednesday and Tuesday. You guys can see this is Tuesday and Wednesday's action. So if this bars pattern were to play out correctly, you guys would see a little bit downside and then a push to the upside, making a higher high than this previous high. Now, the bars pattern is playing out very, very nicely. You guys can see it's tracking very, very well and very, very accurately. So we do have this to look forward to, as it is becoming more and more accurate as the days go on. And once this plays out, I will let you guys know when we are closer to the squeeze. But you guys can see here at the bottom of the screens, I do have dates. I am not giving them. You can look at them if you want. There is up to you if you want to spoil it for yourself or not. But we can see that after this period of consolidation, we see a pump to the upside, and this pump side is the upside is where everything starts. And you guys can see the dates that I have for it here. Now, the algo does speed up and slow down, but it looks like it's tracking right on speed, and it does look like we will see a little bit of pullback and a push to the upside. Now, as far as technicals are saying, it does say that we could see a bit of a breakout on this bull flag type formation right here, this pennant type formation, see a bit of a breakout and retest this $25.20 high. And if we can break out of it, it does say we're going to see a push upside. Now, we also have a lot of technicals going on here in the hourly time frame for AMC. We have this ascending channel that we broke to the upside of. You guys can see that we're using it as support. If it remains as support, you're going to see AMC blast off. So it might decouple from the bars pattern based off what technicals are saying, but technicals are also saying that we're overextended on the bigger time frames, and we might need to come back down. So again, it might just turn out that the bars pattern ends up playing out exactly correct, as we see an overall pullback into earnings and then a pump to the upside after earnings. Again, a pullback into earnings, basically Tuesday, probably have a down day Tuesday, and then get a major pump to the upside Wednesday after earnings. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC stock. Again, earnings is August the 8th. I also want to point out that institutions are buying AMC. You guys can see institutions are buying AMC. AMC's institutional ownership is up, and they are going long. I dropped a short video the other day showing that institutions are going long as well. We can see that short interest is at 29.05%. AMC's cost to borrow. Let's go ahead and check out AMC's cost to borrow for you guys and check out those numbers as well. I believe it's at about 222%. Yes, 222%. You guys can see that right here. AMC's cost to borrow is steadily increasing, making it harder for them to get shares to short us down. They do have 0 shares available to borrow. So this is very, very bullish. Again, technicals are saying that we could see a possible giant push upside, and it's hard to say at these points, because once AMC gets to see, as you guys can see, we had this uptrend and then we just went parabolic. When the stock does that, it either needs to keep going parabolic or it's going to have a hard pullback, and that might be the retest of that $4.90 level that it's talking about here. $4 coming back down, retesting $4.90, and then getting that spring to the upside. This is what the bars pattern is saying, but as you guys can see, it is tracking very
very accurately, as I did say we would see $5.10, $5.15 by Monday and Tuesday, and that is exactly what we are seeing here on AMC. We can also see that GME is having some pullback. You guys can see that GME is having a lot of volatility. GME has a ton of shares available to short. You guys can see that GME started with over 1 million shares available to short. You guys can see that they're sitting on that currently right now. So GME could have a little bit of pressure to the downside. Now, what the bars pattern is calling for GME is calling for a lower low. So I want to warn you guys about GME's possible lower low and what we could see on GME for that. So let's go ahead and look at that for GME stock and show you guys what we could possibly see for GME here in the future based off of the bars pattern. And then we're going to look at the technical analysis and try to see if we have any of a correlation with that. So let's go ahead and check out GME stock for you guys. GME stock. So we can see that the bars pattern is calling for a lower low. You guys can see that. We can zoom out. Let's go ahead and go to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is a little bit more clean for GME to see the bars pattern and everything play out correctly. So you can see that GME is calling for a retest. You can see that we get a bounce to the upside, getting a retest of that range of $20, maybe $19 in that range, retesting that and pushing to the upside. We can see that we're in this micro falling wedge. There's a small falling wedge here for GME here on TradingView. If we can break to the upside of this falling wedge, you're going to see GME rip, but it calls for a little bit of push to the upside after we consolidate at this range, a little bit of push to the upside, and then pump to the upside. Let's see what the technical analysis is telling us for GME stock. So you guys can see that we're just holding support, constantly retesting this yellow wedge and this blue wedge. We have been tracking this thing for quite some time on GME. Again, it's the same story over and over and over again. And again, when AMC runs, GME will run. When GME runs, AMC runs. AMC currently has a catalyst of earnings, and that's why we're seeing such a positive day right now. Also, the zero shares available borrow is helping it a lot as well. GME, again, could see a lower low of like $20, $19 in that range, basically getting a pump to the upside, coming back down and retesting that and moving to the upside. That would be a overall bigger retest of this macro falling wedge that we have here on the macro time frame for GME stock. You guys can see that we've been holding this level as support, constantly holding it as support, and if we came up and then retested it, that would be a retest of this zone, which would send us launching to the upside, which is exactly what the bars pattern is saying: retest and then launch upside. Again, it's tracked slightly different here on TradingView on the macro than it is on Webull, but you guys can see it all correlates the same. So this is what I'm looking at for GME stock. GME stock, you guys can see there is a lot of momentum to the downside based off the alligator, but it's holding, and RSI is getting close to overbought. That's why, or oversold. That's why I do think we could see a little bit more downside before we do get to that oversold level and then running to the upside. You guys can see that we are building bullish momentum though, because the MACD is starting to flip to the bull side on the daily time frame. So that's what I'm looking at for GME as it just continues to hold support and retesting key levels of support. I do think we're going to see this thing actually rocket to the upside. Now let's go ahead and check out SPY, show you guys what's going on with SPY. So SPY, I did call out in the stream that if it did get above this 459 and hold that as support, it would go to about 450, 451. That's exactly what we're seeing. I do think SPY is going to continue to move to the upside, retesting 451. 451 is going to be key support and resistance for SPY. If you are bullish on SPY, you want to see it break 451. Again, I have no bearish bias to bearish or bullish. I just tell you what the guys or what the charts are telling me. You guys can see that if we can break this level and reconfirm it as support, you're going to see more upside for SPY, possibly filling this gap fill up here. But I do think we're going to see a overall double top head and shoulders type pattern forming here on SPY, breaking down back into this macro bear flag. You guys can see here on the macro, we are starting to show bearishness on the macro. We confirm this bearish engulfing candle here on the daily time frame, and we might confirm this bearish engulfing here on the weekly time frame. Again, if we get a weekly candle close below 446, that's going to confirm this bearish engulfing on the weekly time frame. If we look at the daily time frame and we see that we already confirmed the bearish engulfing on the daily time frame, you guys can see this is the bearish engulfing. We already closed below this level. We closed below this level with this candle and with this candle, and we even went back up to reconfirm it as resistance. Again, this is going to be a crucial level, this white line, if you are bullish on SPY, you want to see it break this white line, possibly filling this gap, but I do think it's going to overall capitulate to the downside. As we can see that volume on the macro time frame, again, when in doubt, zoom out. Volume on the macro time frame is moving to the downside. You guys can see that volume's in an overall downtrend. We can see that RSI is very hot, and the MACD is starting to curl to the bear side here on the weekly time frame. Again, showing us that bearish momentum is coming on the bigger time frames, and that's going to override the smaller time frames. You can also see the alligator starting to curl to the downside as well, starting to close the gap in between this wick, letting us know that the momentum on this rally is ending. But this is what I'm looking at for SPY stock. I also want to point out that we do have a couple bit of news we have a little bit of news. We do have year-over-year inflation rating and core inflation rating coming out here on Thursday. So you want to watch out for those as well, as it will cause volatility for SPY. And then I also want to show you guys, AMC has been on the threshold security list for over a month. Now, I believe it was about 35 or 45 days. Don't quote me on this, when GME was on the threshold security list before it ran to the upside. This is more evidence, again, that we are seeing this thing get out of control. I want you guys to also notice that they are able to control us less and less as the days go on. So let's go ahead and look at this threshold security list. You guys can see that this is 07, 07, 06. Let's go to 08, 06, and then go to 08, 05. Let's get the closest date that will load. 08, 04, and then 07, 04. 0705, okay, 0705. So you guys can see that we are on here since January the 5th, and we have been on here since the August the 4th. And again, I do believe it's still on the threshold security list. It just needs to update, but we have been on it for over a month, that you guys can see from this data. It's absolutely insane that AMC has been on the threshold security list this long and Adam Aron has not tweeted about it. We have over $100 million of FTDs of his stock. Again, that means 100 million of his stock, over 100 million, is failed to deliver. If we go ahead and look at the FTD charts, it's absolute insanity. You guys can see what we have here, over 12 million FTDs per day here. Look, per day. This is the day. You guys can see the dates down here on the bottom screen. This is per day that we're getting these FTDs. You guys can see that price has been relatively flat also as well. I do think we're going to see an amazing push based off of this FTD data, this new short interest that we have, institutions going long. And I also have done several videos showing you guys the Wyckoff analysis, showing you guys the cycle analysis, showing you all the reasons why I'm bullish on AMC and GME. I also showed you guys the cycle analysis for SPY and showing you guys why I'm overall bearish on SPY, why I do believe we're in the complacency stage for SPY, and why I do think we are going to see downside. And if we go ahead and look at the market cycle chart, you guys can see that very well on AMC. If we go ahead and look at the macro for AMC, and we'll just use AMC for example, you can do the same thing with GME, but you guys can see euphoria rally, then you drop to the downside. You guys see this big candle to the downside, then you have this upwards consolidation chop. That is called the complacency stage. Then we drop to the downside, anger and depression, and we're about to go into our disbelief rally. And if we look at the monthly time frame, when in doubt, zoom out. You guys can see that we're working on a monthly MACD cross, which correlated with both squeeze runs. You guys can see both squeeze runs correlated with that monthly MACD cross, and we're starting to curl the alligator to the upside again. Multiple indications that momentum is shifting on the macro time frame, that we're starting to get bullish momentum back into the stock on the macro time frame that will override the smaller time frames. You guys can see on the weekly time frame, we've had a bullish MACD for quite some time, and we are already into another wave of the bullish MACD on the weekly time frame. We have Bollinger Bands constricting crazy here on the weekly time frame as well. Again, when in doubt, zoom out. This will help you find what you are looking for. But guys, this is pretty much everything I have for you. If you found this video informative, all you have to do is drop a like, press subscribe for more content like this, and I appreciate each and every one of you that dropped into the live stream today. I will be streaming tomorrow, and I appreciate each and every one of you that watched the end of this video. As always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
All right, guys, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like. Press subscribe for more content like this. And remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. My Discord is $50 for a lifetime invite. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, link down below in the comment section or description. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter to hit me up for the Discord. $50 for a lifetime invite. I'll send you the link. All you have to do is pay me via Cash App or PayPal. I also have a membership you can join for $2.99 a month. Cancel anytime. You get exclusive access to members-only content. You get validation as a member on my streams and on the channel, and your name gets put on the home screen of the channel. $2.99 a month, cancel at any time. That is the membership. All you have to do is press join next to the subscribe button on my page. And if you just want to support me for free, all you have to do is simply drop a like, press subscribe, and leave a comment. That is the best way and a great way to help this video get seen by more people. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you that watched to the end. Have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.